Okay, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna officially call this meeting into order at 4:02 p.m. And as always, we're gonna go ahead and start with roll call. Senator Bigd.
Present.
Senator Gustafson.
Here.
Senator Gabbard. Here. Senator Vondra. Here. Senator Limo. Here. Senator Mendonça.
Present.
Senator Parte.
Here.
Senator Salim.
Present.
Senator Nemo.
Present.
Senator Hussain.
Present.
Senator Khan.
Present.
Senator Pham.
Present.
Senator El-Sadi.
Present.
Senator Albera. Senator Albera. Senator Osman.
Here.
Senator Stiff. Senator Nelson. Senator Nelson. Senator Weinzierl. Senator Wickman.
Here.
Senator Ruiz. Senator Wheeler.
Here.
Senator Hopwood.
Here.
Senator Rodditt. Senator Rodditt. Senator Bejarano.
Here.
Senator Swankut. Senator Flynn. Senator Walford. Senator Mecklenburg. President Trenny. Vice President Altari. And myself. Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to move on to presentations. I'm going to hand over the floor to IT Solutions.
Thank you. Great to be here. Great to be back. Hey, one of the things I noticed last week when the Students United presentation on OER was going on, I mentioned a couple things about that we had presented a week or two before about that topic. But I thought just real briefly as an update, I wanted Matt Clay to talk a little more about what's going on with the OER on our campus, similar to what he did before, but just kind of re-emphasize that so you all know, and then kind of a call to action on our campus for our students. And then the second thing is after that, Elizabeth is here, Elizabeth Harsma is here, prepared to talk about D2L, your favorite topic, I know, yay. And it's all good news. Information. So that's our topics for today. So Matt, real quick, and then Elizabeth.
Perfect. Thank you, everybody, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. We were excited to see the speaker last week talk about all of the OER stuff going off in the system. As the leaders and some of the first people to be doing this, it makes us really feel good that other people are seeing the value here and how we can save students money and make a really big difference in education. And so I want to make a plea for your help as we move forward. Let's talk to faculty. Let's figure out resources. If there's any way we can bring people together to help. We think that this is such an extremely valuable service that we can help provide as we transition our campus to some more of this use. So please, this is just kind of a call to action. We want to continue to lead the system and be the first to do whatever we can to get student savings. So that's all I have, and I'll put you over to Elizabeth to talk about D2L.
Thanks, Matt. Mark, I saw you unmuted. Did you have something to add, or?
Nope, I was just going to make sure that we smoothly transition between the three of us.
Wonderful. Well, that is my cue then. My name is Elizabeth Harsma, and I'm an instructional designer and technologist in IT Solutions. And as part of my role in IT Solutions, I work closely with faculty around course design and teaching with technology integration. And a lot of that revolves around D2L Brightspace. So I'm here to share some information about D2L Brightspace usage and how it has changed from last fall to this fall. I want to caveat my comments first with a small disclaimer. This data that I'm sharing with you reflects information up to October 1st of this year, October 1st, 2020. So there's certainly have been changes since October 1st in D2L Brightspace usage. So I just want to make sure that you're understanding the scope of the data we're talking about. So we're really talking about from semester start, October 21st to October 1st of this semester. So the first point is we had about 1,600 in-use courses in D12 Brightspace this semester over the entire campus. And about 80% of those courses were individual courses, and about 20% were merged courses. So some of you might have a course where you have like sections 1, 2, and 3 all put together in the same D12 Brightspace course. That's what we call merged. So we had about 80% individual courses, 20% merged. And interesting, on average, of those about 1,600 in-use courses, each course had about 82 items within that course offering on average. And we also looked in detail on tool usage, looking at some of the key tools within D12 content, where faculty might share a syllabus, assignments, quizzes, grades, announcements. And we found from our 5-year average, that's 2014 to 2019, compared to this semester, we've had an overall increase of 17% in tool usage. So just to give you some more examples, our 5-year average for content usage in courses was around 82%. This semester, as of October 1, it was 92%. Another really great increase that we saw was in grades usage. So the 5-year average was 72% use of grades. And as of October 1, 81% of courses were using grades in D12 Brightspace. Another one of our largest gains was actually in the use of announcements in D12 Brightspace. So that was 74% all the way up to 90%. This semester. So overall, we've seen some really important gains in tool usage. And what that also means is that we've also seen some increases in support usage as well. So over our semester start in IT solutions, that's the week before school begins and the first week of school, we saw a 40% increase in support usage specifically for D12 Brightspace. So great, I'm seeing a note here that I can share my screen if I like, so I'll maybe go ahead and share that visual I'm looking at. All right. So this was the 5-year average and the percent tool usage graphic I was talking about. And the support usage is the one down here. We saw a 40% increase in tool usage and 24% increase in our drop-in support alone, and that's with the instructional design team. And fun fact, not only do we provide D12 Brightspace drop-in support for faculty, staff, and students, we also provide drop-in support for MediaSpace, for general course design questions, for Zoom, and we just launched this fall drop-in support for the use of Teams as part of a new Teams Teaching with Teams certificate that we launched this fall with the instructional design team. And I also wanted to share with you a couple of our new faculty development offerings that we'll be offering in the spring, including engaging students with discussions in D12 Brightspace and Flipgrid, which is a video discussion tool, among a few other topics. So I wanted to conclude with just a discussion question. So a 2018 Technology Roundtable survey of students found that there were 3 key factors that were really important for student success. They said they really wanted faculty to use due dates, to use the grades tool, and to upload a syllabus. Now, this was 2018. It was a great gauge for 2019, but 2020, we are in a whole new environment. And so what I wanted to bring to Student Senate and get some feedback about was, now that we're in this new environment, things are changing. Are these 3 things still really the key factors we want to support faculty in using? Are there other things that are more important, or are there things we need to add to this list? So that will be the conclusion of my remarks. I'm happy to take questions, and I'd love to hear your feedback on these questions. Thank you.
Sure. Are there any comments or questions on that? Any comments or questions? Any comments or questions? Any? Senator Walford.
So is this the discussion portion? Okay. So one point of feedback, I guess, from my perspective, especially in the social sciences, there's a lot of reading materials. So using D12 is important, especially getting updates from our professors. So seeing more interactive use of the announcements tab weekly to update students on weekly happenings in the course.
Perfect. Thank
That's
you.
a good piece of feedback. Thank you.
President Trenny.
Yes. So one thing, since 2018, all these things have been, at least in my opinion, improved by faculty. My kind of big suggestion as well is, since it's been such touched upon that students want to see faculty use the gradebook, uploading syllabuses, using the calendar, and adding due dates, faculty, and again, this is just what I'm seeing from my classes, have kind of neglected the other parts of it, which are, making their own content in there and uploading it as well. I know one big thing we've been working on this year is trying to get faculty to shy away from access codes and use more of the D2L faculty created content rather than the purchasing from MindTap or Cengage. So I guess that's another area of focus, would be how can faculty develop their own content instead of having to make students pay for it, since D2L does offer the same capabilities as MindTap, and oftentimes faculty just don't know that or don't want to use D2L to do that. So I guess that's kind of where the neglected side is now becoming more increasingly.
Yeah, thanks for that input. I think there's a broader question. It's not just straight D2L, but it's the use of third-party purchase products that students have to support to some degree. And you can understand sometimes there's rich resources available, but as you said, Andrew, sometimes it's just a matter of taking time to develop things ourselves. So good feedback. It's another area that we want to work on with the Technology Roundtable, looking at all these pieces that we bring in outside of D2L. And see where they fit in and where we could maybe augment with maybe more OER type resources, as you mentioned, self-developed. Thanks for that input.
Wonderful. Are there any other comments or questions? Okay, seeing none, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Just a final kind of wrap up. D2L usage is up. I'm looking over my notes. More usage of D2L and more support of faculty by IT Solutions and the Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning of faculty for the use of D2L and other products that are helpful, such as Teams and other products. I really want you to understand that we're very focused on listening to students, augmenting the teaching and learning process, but with training and other capabilities. And we're also driving the change that students have asked for, specifically in the usage of D2L in the classroom. So that's kind of where we would conclude today's comments. I'd also am open if there is any questions on anything else in IT, but our main topic today was, like, as I mentioned, we did a little quick OER update and then the D2L.
Are there any questions for anything more broadly IT? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Okay, seeing none, we're going to go ahead and move on. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Next, I'm going to go ahead and open the floor for open forum. If you're online and would like to speak at open forum, please use the raise your hand function. So is there anyone here for open forum? Vice President Jones.
Thanks for the opportunity to connect with you today. I'm going to give a couple different COVID updates. Clearly, there's a lot going on right now, not only on our campus with some recent changes that we're in the midst of, but tonight at 6 o'clock, Governor Walz is going to be announcing some additional changes. So I want to give you kind of a heads up of what we are expecting he'll be sharing as well. I'm going to be leaning on Mark Johnson and Wendy Hsu. I see they're both here, and they'll catch up where I might miss as well. And we'll answer any questions folks may have at the end. So starting with recent history, last Thursday, the testing event that was in the ballroom, we tested 977 students, staff, and faculty here. We saw 58 positives as a result of that testing experience. That's a 5.93% positivity rate, well below the average 15% that we're seeing across the state. So we're really excited about the, again, good decision-making and the additional knowledge that nearly 1,000 of us got this past week. Tomorrow is the last scheduled testing event before Thanksgiving, of course, and possibly the end of the semester. We have enough resources that we expect to have 1,700 tests available. So really are encouraging folks to take advantage of this from noon to 6 p.m. tomorrow. So for those who might have gone through it, again, it's pretty simple. You spit into a vial till you hit a certain line, and you put a cap on that vial, shake it, and put it in a box. It's super simple. And I did it last Thursday as well and received results in just about 24 hours. So it's a pretty fast experience, and I encourage you all to do it. Recent changes that we're going to have here on campus, because if any of you are paying attention to not only our state, but also our local environment, we know that our K-12 systems since last week have announced that they're going online, and I believe that kicked that off here today officially in our Mankato and North Mankato School District area, as well as some of the local ones, St. Peter, Lake Crystal, that may be a little less familiar for some of our students on the call today, but these are places where our faculty and staff live. And so we know there's going to be some impact that way. They have shifted to online, so the chance that you as a student are going to see somebody's dog, cat, or child run in the background is likely going to be increasing as we make this shift and provide continued support of the learning enterprise. Some additional changes we know because of the increasing positivity rate that we have made here on campus. For those that live in the residence halls, you've already received this message that we are restricting visitors to the living areas of the residence halls for the remainder of the semester. For those of you that are moving out, of course, we're going to give you the opportunity to have your family help collect items at the room and move out. We want to be smart but not impractical as we're doing this approach, as well as they can come to the lobby areas. We're asking everybody here to do a little bit more masking up, not only in our facilities, but outside. We have definitely witnessed some behavior where people are outside, which is a good decision, but still not maintaining a 6-foot distance. So if you're gonna be outside and within 6 feet, we really are asking you mask up. We know that it makes a big difference, and recent CDC guidance indicates that it protects others if you're ill as much as it protects you around others who might be ill. So we want to encourage that. We'll be taking steps to reduce in-person events. Not a massive surprise. We're kind of winding down the semester anyway, and much of what we've been planning for the rest of the semester, we're also providing via live stream or some other technological solutions for you to enjoy those things. So we'll be working on those as well. Tonight at 6 o'clock, the governor will be hosting a press conference, and we're anticipating, we've gotten a little bit of a heads up on what he should be sharing through MDH call earlier today, as well as you can see on the Star Tribune website and other media outlets. He will be announcing a 4-week pause on fitness facilities, including gyms, youth sports, bars, and restaurants. Bars and restaurants can continue to do takeout service, but there'll be no inside dining, is what we're anticipating at this point in time. Theaters, no audiences, so that's going to have an impact, and our theater program is already aware of that and going to start to try and figure out what possible solutions that might be for that student experience. We'll get more details. These are kind of rough ideas we understand that he'll be sharing tonight, but we anticipate those things to come forward, and over the next day or two, we'll refine what that may mean for the campus and put out additional messaging. I'm going to pause there, see if Mark and Wendy have anything else that they're aware of that would be good for us to know.
No, I don't have anything to add to that, David. I will say that even as we move to more of an online setting, the service level at the campus of students, whether you're there or off campus, is going to be maintained at the highest level possible. So all of us are really working together to be sure you have what you need as you finish the time before Thanksgiving, and then that time before as we finish the semester. So that's a real focus of many of the groups. I know the library and IT especially have got a lot of hard work to try to make sure you have everything you need during this last segment of our semester.
I think the only thing I would add is the dining center will continue to be open for students who are staying on campus that can continue to serve the students. Although there may be some more emphasis on smaller seating, tables, 2 to a table versus 4 to a 6 to a table, things like that. And then, as David mentioned, we'll learn more how this affects each area as more information comes out. Maybe just a point of clarification I have, David, did I read that all classes are going online as of Monday? Is that correct?
There's a nuance to that. Okay. For those that are teaching FlexSync, we're encouraging them to consider delivering the remainder of the time before before Thanksgiving break, in online. And we're already getting feedback, to much relief for some faculty. That's a natural transition many of them already made, but that encouragement to know that we'll provide an additional couple days where they can provide it through that mechanism provides a little bit more safety for our students and our faculty.
Okay, that's
An
helpful.
important
Thank you.
element is FlexSync was designed to do this. So it's just using FlexSync, but using different elements of FlexSync, when we need more exposure to avoid exposure. So I think it's a pretty easy transition. It's just a kind of maybe a more directed transition.
And we're happy to pause if there's any questions, speaker, that folks may have. We'll try and answer them the best we can.
Perfect. Are there any questions? Vice President Maltari.
Can you tell us what is the situation for the dome?
Yeah, for the sports dome. So we were making progress towards trying to find a solution to be able to use it for more of our community members. Clearly, this current uptick in the guidance we're receiving right now, that's not going to be possible. And we won't entertain that until January at the earliest. What it's available for us is students and use here on campus. We really need to get better clarification on what the governor shares tonight. They often speak about fitness and recreation centers and don't use the word dome, and domes fall somewhere between outside and indoors. And so every time there's been further guidance, we've had to ask for clarification. The good news with the dome is the turnover rate of the air in that space is pretty good, as well as we're densifying the use of that facility. But at this point in time, I don't have an update. We'll hopefully have that by no later than Monday.
Wonderful. Are there any other questions? Senator Gabbard.
I had heard that there was some testing going on tomorrow. Do you have any information about that?
I do. We're going to be providing some testing from noon to 6 in the ballroom, and it's free, no cost, of course. And all we ask you to do is, before you show up, do not consume any liquid or food for at least 30 minutes before. That way you can avoid getting a false negative. And bring a smartphone. If you don't have that, we've got paper. We can get you all registered, and it's pretty slick. It doesn't take very long.
If you forget any of those details, the president just sent a note out at about 2 o'clock, and it laid out all the time, the exact times, the place, and those specific things not to do just ahead of time. I know I have a hard time remembering that, like 15 minutes before, like, oh no, what do I have to do? So it's laid out in that email that was sent to all students and all staff.
Senator Khan.
Hi, this question is about one of the students asked me that the dining center, that 10 meals for a student that we did, are bad for just this semester, because I think some of the students haven't really used all of their meals. So I think they were concerned if they're going to be expired. For example, if a student has used like 7 of them or 3 are still left, are they going to be expired after this semester?
Cindy, you got an answer on that?
I was feeding the dogs who've been out of control this afternoon, and so I need you to repeat the question, please.
So we did this thing with where students filled out a form and they got like 10 meals from dining center. And I don't know how all of that works properly, but some of the students, one of the students asked me that if they haven't used like all 10 meals this semester, are they going to be expired by the end of the semester, or they can use the rest of them next semester?
Okay, it sounds like that is referring to the swipe out hunger meals.
Yes.
And those will last throughout the academic year.
So, okay, perfect. Thank you.
So if a student has a certificate for 10 meals, some students might have for 3 meals. And so those will not expire at the end of the semester.
Okay. Thank you.
Great question. Thanks.
Were there any other questions? Any other questions? Senator Swancutt.
What's on? Perfect. This might be coming too soon, but have there been discussions either here at the system level about what next semester might potentially look like. Is there any information on that yet? Or am I asking too soon?
No, I appreciate the question. It is something we are actively working on right now, and we do not have any additional guidance from the system at this point or from MDH on what it might be outside of. The response will be, whatever plans will be in response to where our positivity rate is in our community or across the state. We're actively, Vice President Johnson and I were in an active conversation in the cabinet trying to figure out what is the best way that we can return students back to our campus and our learning environment to provide the best and most safest experience possible. We've got some good ideas, but we're really looking forward to some additional answers from MDH before we put any plan out there more publicly.
The only thing I'll add is we're trying to do that very quickly, so I don't think you'll have to wait for 4 or 5 more weeks. I think we're trying to shoot for within the week or so, having the clarity as best we can for now about what will happen a month from now, which is not easy, or a month and a half from now. It's not easy, but we're going to do our best to get some clarity out there as quickly as we can. We just have a few pieces we need to figure out, and then we're going to make our best guess, and then we're going to get some more direct feedback to you as students.
Perfect. Are there any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, seeing none. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there anyone else here for open forum? Anyone else here for open forum? Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, we're going to go ahead and move on to the approval of the consent agenda. Is there any dissent to the approval of the consent agenda? Any dissent? Any dissent? Any dissent? Seeing none, I assume unanimous consent, and the agenda is approved. Next, officer reports. President Trenny, you have the floor.
I just got a couple. One, COVID. Yes, testing tomorrow, please go. I think it's a smart thing to do before everyone goes home for Thanksgiving, but also if you're not coming back, just so you know as well. Let's see. The other thing, we have meet and confer December 10th, 11:30 to 1. Again, that's our monthly meeting with President Downport and his cabinet. We're asking if anyone else wants to go to please email me ASAP. I will forward you that link and you can attend as well. That is during finals week, that Thursday of finals week. So if you have a final that time, I suggest don't come. Your final is more important. And then the other two things that are really cool opportunities is one, Students United is still doing their internships this year. And there's 2 of them, and I will show my screen for the flyer. They have 2 internships, and they're both paid. So they have an advocacy intern and a development intern. So just go on Students United's webpage, and you can kind of see what they're about. They're remote, and they're $15 an hour. And they obviously work with your schedule just because they know you're a student. So really cool opportunities, so I highly encourage people to apply. Yeah, if anyone has any questions as well, just let me know on that. And then the other update I have is delegates is this Friday at 7 p.m. We're going to be, Arnavi and I are going to be making sure we have our seats filled. But if you, for some reason, want to be a part of it and are free at 7 p.m. on Friday, we'll have like alternates in the room just in case someone needs to leave. Just because an empty seat for our university is an empty vote. So you just want to make sure people are able to be there. So if you are a part of the delegates team, make sure you are there as well. I'll be really mad if you don't go, just because we have the most seats as well for delegates. And for that, I yield.
Are there any questions for President Trenny? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Vice President Maltari.
I don't have much for my officer report today, but if you're graduating field, please email Amber to get your graduation card. And then, yes, happy graduation, of course. Second one is, I mentioned a survey in the last meeting. I'm sorry about the delay, but I just need to get it approved, and you should be getting it by this Friday. And a few senators have Senator Walford and Senator Pham has reached out to me. I need like 3 more. If you're interested, please email me. It's going to be next semester, and I'll give you more information as we go through the semester, end of the semester. Another thing is next season is the budget season. I think John will talk about it more, but make sure if you're registering for your classes, keep your Wednesdays from 4, like schedule open for the Senate, because meetings go longer than usual sometimes for the budget season. So I would highly recommend keeping that time available for Senate. And with that, I yield.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Vice President Maltari? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Okay, seeing none, we'll go on to mine. I just have a couple things. So yeah, we've been talking about the rest of the year semester or schedule for the semester. So no meeting next week, and then the week after December 2nd will be completely online, which is dead week, and then finals week we won't meet, and then we'll meet the first week of the next semester. So then that will be when we'll pick up. January 13th, I'm hearing. So if you guys have any questions about that, we'll send it out in an email again, but don't show up next week because we won't be here. So that's that. The other thing that I wanted to encourage you guys all to do is make a plan for how you're gonna pause your projects over break. So this can be like kind of a hard transition because you go from like emailing people and meeting with people consistently to make progress on your projects, and then we take a break for a month and we can lose a lot of momentum. So think about how you want to continue progressing on your projects, whether that's like right now creating a timeline for what you're hoping to do for second semester, whether that's like scheduling a meeting in January now so that you have something on the books already. But just start thinking about that, like how can you transition your projects to next semester after taking the significant break? So I'm sure you can talk to your committee coordinators about that, or talk to me, or if you have any questions about that, but just something to start considering. And with that, that is all I have this week. Is there any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Okay, seeing none, we're gonna go ahead and move on to Senator reports, starting with Senator Parte.
Hello everyone, my name is Sarvesh Parte and I'm the Senator for College of Education. For my report today, I have a couple of follow-ups on my last report. In the last report, I talked about how I was working on 4 different departments, that is aviation department, military, elementary education, and K-12. So for this semester, my main focus was on aviation and military. I started with aviation as it is my major, and I already know a couple of things which I wanted to work on. So in aviation department, there are actually 2 subdivisions, which is pro-flight and the management. For the pro-flight, everything was, I think, going good for the students, but for the management students, they were feeling a bit ignored by the department, or feeling a bit ignored. So I talked with the department's head, Michael Ferrero and Kathleen Ferrero. We figured out some projects and started working on it. There was a very positive response from them and everything escalated very smoothly. At this point, I can see that we were getting a lot of responses, internships, opportunities, and job positions for the management students too. So I was a bit happy for that they did it very promptly. The department was very helpful to me. And then for the military and science students, their issue was they needed some appreciation or some little shout out for them that would help the students to know that there is even a department like military and health science, RTC. For that, I talked with the dean, and the dean contacted me to the social health coordinator of our College of Education. I had a couple of meetings with the social coordinator, Christina Hens, and the new intern, McKenna. I told them the concern we were having with the military students, and they agreed on posting them online and on the website and the magazine too. Additionally, a couple days ago, I talked to my dean on the follow-up for the military students, and she said that they will also be working with the University Interrogate Marketing Department. She also said that they are working with the Colonel Mer for the promotion of Military Science Department. That was really nice of her. I was advised to do a social media outreach from Christina Hens so that students can reach out to me. So this idea was successfully executed and I have been getting good feedbacks to work on. So my projects for this semester have been quite completed for like military and aviation department, but I'll still continue to communicate with my department and talk about them for future products, and that can be achieved and accomplished. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Thank you, Senator. Okay, moving on to Senator Wickman.
Hello, everyone. I'm Zach Wickman. I'm one of the off-campus senators. I'll make this pretty quick since I updated you just a few weeks ago. My project, along with Senator Gustafson, was to find a spot to have a physical representation of fraternities and sororities on campus, since they're one of the most involved RSOs. We believe this will help students become more aware of joining Greek organizations, as it's proven that members of Greek organizations have higher GPAs than the all-school average. Members are more likely to engage with campus activities than your average student, and members are given the opportunity to participate in community service and philanthropic events within the community. All are reasons we believe fraternities and sororities should have a wider known presence on campus. We have shared our ideas with the fraternity and sorority presidents, and we're waiting to hear feedback, which will presumably be positive and in support of the project. At the moment, I'm figuring out funding for it. I've reached out to John Bulcock to figure out whether it needs to come from the individual organizations themselves, or if it can be a student allocations request from fraternities and sororities as a whole. Looking ahead for next semester, I've already kind of started thinking about my project ideas. I've recently met a former senator from the 2007 and 2008 student government, who at the time had made a booklet that outlined CSU spending and activity fee spending. I've since had the chance to read the booklet he's created, and I'm planning to update it with our current up-to-date numbers. The booklet at the time was distributed to students on campus to give them a better idea of where their money was going. And I hope to provide this same information to our current students by updating the booklet and distributing it to students. So that's all I got. Thank you, guys.
Wonderful. Are there any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Thank you, Senator. Senator Bigd.
Hi, everyone. I'm just here for a little update, as you know, but I want to tell you that the College of Allied Health and Nursing met as an advisory board this morning and just checked in, and that was good. I think everyone's just ready for this semester to kind of progress and move on and have a good break before we come back ready for spring semester. And then last time I talked about my project as starting an advisory board in each college. So since then, I've put together a document and I've rolled it out to other senators. And they are talking about it and hopefully going to meet with their deans. And so when we come back, hopefully next semester, there'll be a little bit more progress on that. But Senator Gabbard did tell me that her dean had expressed interest before I even brought it up. So they are going to get one started, which is super exciting. So I'm excited to see what that entails for all the colleges. Other than that, I yield for questions.
Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Thank you, Senator. Senator Stiff.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Senator Stiff, and I am one of the at-large senators. My project for this semester was to work with off-campus housing managers to kind of create relationships that hadn't really been there before, so that way they can hear some of the... Oh, can you guys hear me? Okay. Can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. Yeah, so my project for this semester was to work with off-campus housing managers to establish relationships that hadn't really been there before. So that way that they can really get a good idea of what student concerns are, and we can actually start making progress on like changing those concerns into action. So far this semester, I have met with my deans. Well, I guess since I'm at Large Center, I don't have deans, but I've met with Dr. Veltzos, who was very helpful, and also Cindy Janey. I don't know if she's still on this call, but yeah. They are both very helpful in discussing how we can be more collaborative as far as student affairs, and so thank them for meeting with me. As far as progress on the off-campus housing, I actually have started, Senator Rada, and Senator Wheeler divided the off-campus housing into 3, so we each focused on one housing complex. I was assigned Summit, and so I'm happy to announce that I've gotten a little progress with them. We are discussing now approval for my proposal, which was to establish a more solid relationship between student government in general and their complex. So I have to formalize my proposal in writing and then send it over again to them before I get a final answer on how that will go. Other than that, I stand for questions.
Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Thank you, Senator. Senator Alimo.
Hello, everybody. My name is David Alimo. I'm one of the senators for College of Business. And so far this year, Manav and I have been working on project-based courses for the College of Business. We feel as if we're trying to stay away from the hard memorizations because it seems as if students are focused more on trying to pass exams and quizzes rather than actually understanding how to apply the knowledge that they are being taught in class. And we just basically feel as if, what's the point of memorizing if you're not able to apply what you are being learned? So what we're trying to focus more on is, courses that are focused more on project-based courses. So one day the student will be in class. Yeah, one day the student will be in class and they will be given the principles that they need for their project. And on the other day, they will be having a project where they'll be working with a group of teams. And that's basically going to allow them to use the principles that they are learning from the class to apply to their project. And we feel as if this is a wonderful opportunity for them because it'll allow them to retain the information that they are learning by applying action. And depending on how well these students do within that course, they'll be able to obtain an internship at the end of the year. And another thing that Manav and I have been working on is Zoom etiquette. We have been trying to encourage students to have their camera on when they are in their lectures. We understand that that's kind of tough, but we're allowing them to achieve or obtain extra credit while doing it. We feel as if it'll be a wonderful opportunity to get them more engaged. We understand that not all students will be able to do it due to equity, but those students will be able to get extra credit as well through other venues throughout the course. Another thing that we've been focusing on is just helping students build healthy habits throughout the whole entire semester through professionalism, because we feel as if students are able to understand the art of communication, it'll allow them to build healthy relationships and continue to build healthy networks as well. So that's just something that we've been working on, and I just want to thank you guys for listening.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Thank you. And then Senator Salim, you're up next. Senator Salim,
Yep.
you're up next for your officer report or senator report.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My office report, it will be basically like I suppose to meet with my deans, Dr. Brian and Dr. Chris, but the meeting will happen on the 24th of November. So to discuss about, the thing I was focusing on the semester will be basically just to increase the minority students, to enroll them in the College of Graduate. So I have received a data. Basically, like the data, states that only the minority students that are enrolled in graduate students only is 10% for most of the graduate studies. So which is kind of alarming. If you compare the other students, it's like 80% or 77% or 90%. When I'm saying other students, I'm saying like, Caucasian students. So for now, that's the only information I have, but like I said, I have a meeting on the 24th to get more information on the deans. And so my goal will be basically to increase, from 10% either to 5% to 20% or maybe 50%. So my focus will be what is the reason that minority students are not, basically enrolled in the graduate students. Are they not applying, or are they not getting basically good support from faculties? So that would be my main topic, like I said. So sorry I don't have enough information, but hopefully I get more information on my next meeting. I yield for any questions.
Are there any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Seeing none, thank you. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and move on to vacancies. So as always, we have the Allied Health and Nursing Senator position that is still vacant. And then I'm also announcing a Residential Life Senator vacancy. So that election will be held on December 2nd. And then we have no new business and no old business, so we're gonna go right ahead onto announcements. Are there any announcements? John?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Folks, you've almost made it. We're almost to the end of the semester. As people hear me say often, I want to congratulate you first, but as people often hear me say, remind you to focus on staying on track for your projects that you've set up and things that you want to accomplish. For those reports today, listening to Senator Stiff in particular and Senator Wickman, who both were very specific about the things that they wanted to accomplish and this progress that they've made, they're working towards that legacy piece that they're going to have to be able to hang their hat on at the end of their term and say, I accomplished this. So I encourage everybody to do that and continue to work towards those projects. Again, things are different, things are weird. I tell groups of students this that I work with all the time. Let's not focus on what we can't do, but focus on what we can do and continue to work towards bettering the student experience for those here. So congratulations, you've almost made it. We'll see you virtually on December 2nd. Just a little update, as I gave a progress update last week regarding the Elections Commission. Thank goodness they all check their email like addicts, like I do, and they responded very quickly to my request for a meeting time. So the Election Commission will be having its initial meeting on Monday afternoon, and during that meeting, they will elect a chairperson, review and approve a election timeline, and ideally, hopefully we have enough time to finalize and approve the rules for the election cycle and present those at your meeting on December 2nd. So that's kind of where we are with the election progress. Things are moving right along. And Vice President Maltari, you did announce or mention the budget timeline. That is a very critical thing coming up in the spring semester as well. So the script for spring semester in student government is pretty well formulated in terms of what has to happen when, because there are deadlines for things, and your Constitution sets an election time frame, and we, because of the state requirement to have a vote if student fees are at a certain place, we have pretty much a week-by-week agenda for what your semester may look like with some of the key things. So it will be a very busy semester, but a fun one at that. You get to learn a lot more about how things work on the insides of the university, so it'll be exciting. Enjoy the next few weeks and finish out the semester strong.
Thank you. Are there any other announcements? Senator Gabbard.
Hi, so my friends Ara, so the Pinky Swear Pack program is having a fundraiser at Chipotle tonight from 4 to 8. So you just tell them that there's a fundraiser and some money will go to their program. Yeah.
Perfect, thank you. Senator Alimo.
It is Global Entrepreneur Week, so if you have an idea that you want to, turn into a business, you don't have to be a business student for this. It's just like if you have an idea that you think you can profit off of and you're interested in building it, feel free to reach out to either me or Yvonne. She's one of the faculty members for the College of Business. That's pretty much about it.
Perfect. Senator Pham.
Hi, everyone. So I just want to let you guys know too, this week is International Education Week. So from the current center, they are asking for some student leaders to motivate our international students. So if you guys interested in participate, please email Ms. Elizabeth Gonzalez, or you can just email to me and I'll direct you to her. Thank you so much. And I have another one. It's a swipe out hunger, and from the math action, they asking if we can have location for a drop off food box, and if I can have any office that open to do that, that'd be great too.
Wonderful. Are there any other announcements? President Trenny.
So John talks a lot about next semester, but what we don't talk about is people not coming back next semester. And the one person who has served student government for 2 years now and has worked really hard for students is Andrew W. And I just want to present him as cords because he's not going to be here and it's COVID. So if you want to come get them.
Oh, thank you so much.
And he will be missed. That's all I'll say.
Wonderful. That's hard to top. Are there any other announcements? Any others? Any others? Seeing none, we are going to go ahead and go into roll call. Senator Bigd.
Present.
Senator Gustafson.
Here.
Senator Gabbard. Senator Vondra. Senator Alimo. Senator Mendonça.
Present.
Senator Parte.
Present.
Senator Salim.
Present.
Senator Nemo.
Present.
Senator Hussain.
Present.
Senator Khan.
Present.
Senator Pham.
Present.
Senator El-Sadi.
Here.
Senator Albera. Senator Albera. Senator Osman.
Here.
Senator Stiff. Senator Nelson. Senator Nelson. Senator Weinzierl. Senator Wickman.
Present.
Senator Ruiz. Senator Wheeler.
Here.
Senator Hopwood.
Here.
Senator Rodditt.
Here.
Senator Bejarano.
Here.
Senator Swancutt. Senator Flynn. Senator Walford. Senator Mecklenburg. President Trenny. Vice President Altari. Myself. Perfect. That was speedy. Okay, and then at 4:55, we are officially adjourning. Bye, guys.